Good morning, tacticians. About 6 hours ago, the Crusade and the HRE for the new Thousand Suns characters, the Sekhetar Robot, I think, arrived. And about 5 hours ago, the servers unshed their pants and the game became playable again. And about 4 hours ago I went to bed. So now, after a little sleep, I am ready to look at the Crusade and rant about it. So let's have a look. So, what information is available in the game? I haven't watched the content creators' videos on the Crusade, so I may be missing some information that they already pieced out, but that's not what I care about. I think that all the information about a game should be presented and findable through the game. So let's start with the info screens. Crusade mode. Okay, so this is roughly describing what was already mentioned in the update notes, and I will skip it. This is the basic, there will be war. Okay, so more information is here when you tap the bar. Sector control overview. It describes that the side that scored more points from controlling planets will win. There are two sides, Imperium and Counter-Imperium, the Devastation, which represents both the Chaos and the Xenos players. Some planets are more valuable and count as more than one. The planet values are here, all other planets at 1 point, the hive worlds at 3 points, and the giant hive worlds at 6 points. Now, looking at the map, I can only see one distinctly looking planet, which is all the way to the right here. And I'm not sure whether that is because it's in the foreground, because there is some parallax scrolling here, and it doesn't look like the planet is in the foreground, or whether it's big because it's a giant hive world. If it is the giant hive world that is worth 6 points, I cannot see any normal hive worlds, at least I cannot distinguish them at the first glance. Maybe it has something to do with the not thickness, with the amount of color that is on the planet. For example, here east of the Judgment cluster there is one with a lot of color, and to the west there is one with less color, so maybe the one with the less color is a normal planet and the one with more color is a high world. At this point I cannot tell. Okay, so this is roughly all the information that I have available about how to score the Crusade points or control points or control points. The Crusade points is a different metric because we need all the different metrics and token names that we can get. Right, so I'm gonna move on to the Crusade Shop. So, of course, with new content, there must be new opportunities to spend money on the game. So, let's start from the top. Crusade Vault. For $2, I think, or €2, you can buy something called Vault, which, if I understand it right, you fill by spending the Crusade currency, Crusade credits, and when you spend enough to fill the bar, you will get some of the currency back. So the ratio is 20%, so to fill the first tier of the vault you will need 650 times 5, 3000, 8000, 50, some 8500, I think. It's early in the morning. Go fuck yourself if you don't like my math. There, I said it. Okay, so once you spend this amount, you will get the 650 back. So this directly gives you a pay to win more opportunity, in that you pay a little money to get more currency to spend on the Crusade shop, with the catch that you don't get the currency directly. You need to first spend the currency in chunks, so you need to spend enough of the currency to get any effect back. And to spend the currency, the Crusade credits, you first need to earn the Crusade credits, right? So there's another catch. Now, I don't know how much Crusade credits we will get for just playing the game, so I will refrain from commenting on that in not origin, for the sake of fairness there. But keep this in mind. We will get to it in a bit. Now, the Crusade shop itself, same stuff as the Guild shop really. You can refresh it once a day, apparently, for an ad or for a little blackstone. And it has a limited amount of, or daily limited amount of deals for shards of various characters, with the featured character being the new Eldari legendary hero Lhykhis, whom I of course want to unlock because well, if no for other reason than because their name sounds like licking something, and I have a dirty mind. So I'm gonna spend the first 50 Crusade credits I got on the first shard to start my collection of this character. I think they are canonically female, but I may be wrong on that. And full disclosure, I got these 50 credits from the free deal in the anniversary event. There. Then there is Haarken, who is a good deal. As usual, the mythic shards are 5 times as expensive as normal shards, and here they come in batches of 3. Then there is apparently one either random or from a selection of shards. Chiron, probably worth investing in. The 2 new relics, Phasal Subjugator, so that's Anuphet's relic, and it makes his passive trigger twice, with the second trigger being only available for a Necron warrior, and if he has no Necron warriors yet, then at the end of his turn or after moving, he will make one. So okay, that gives you more spam, and Anuphet will never be alone. Now he is an infinitely summoning hero, and those are always fun. Just think of Show, think of Snotfloga, think of Mataneo, of Zibia. I mean, it's a powerful mechanic, but I have grown not to like it. So that's the first of the new relics. Then there is the Hell Spear, Haarken's relic. Okay, that is its info bar, okay. So his active will always add despoiled ground to the hexes of the affected enemies, which means if that happens before the hit, that he will always score +1 hit against them from the despoiled ground from the Black Legion trait. And the next attack against affected enemies also ignores some armor. I'm not sure whether that refers to the... No, that probably refers to the extra damage component for the next attack that the ability has by default. After Herald of the Apocalypse has been used and Haarken defeats 8 enemy units, he can use the ability again. This potentially not scales, but improves with the level of the relics, so after upgrading this may go down to 7 and 6 and whatever, like Rivas's Ion Cyclic Burst Cannon does, which makes Haarken not sure whether I wanna say more useful, but less useless, for example in wave modes, because the active can probably be powerful. Okay, so those are the highlights of the shop. Then you get some standard deals for gear that at this point we get enough from mythic journeys and from salvage, and mythic upgrades, which I can see being purchasable. Okay, that's most of the deals here. Oh, experience books look overpriced. Well, depending on how many Crusade credits we get from playing the mode. Then we come to the main reason Crusade was implemented, to give us more ways to spend money on the game. There are 2 deals for €5, or I'm gonna call that $6 rough about, to get 700 Crusade credits directly. There are 2 deals to get ordnance, which I think is gonna be spent on the guild projects, and 2 deals for team forces, which is another type of currency that I don't understand yet. It's not confusing at all, is it? Good. I suspect these deals are daily, so if you feed Snowprint $10 a day, you will be getting Lhykhis, pretty much all of Lhykhis every day, and I'm doing rough maths. The 500 shards we need are available with the refresh in 30 days is 450 shards plus 3, so 34 days divided by 2 is 17 days of buying both of these deals. You get only 14 shards per one, which is funny to me. You don't even get to buy out both the Lhykhis deals with this pack. Okay, on top of that, yeah, that's everything. You can get mixtures of currencies and a welcome pack that gives you 3000 Crusade credits, a new frame, and some blessed requisitions along with some blackstone for 650 crowns divided by something like 4, 15, 16 euros, something like that. Okay, so yeah, new and fascinating ways to spend money to progress in the game more quicker. Good. Let's move away from the Crusade shop and let's see the operations. So the operations are an idle mode where you get a bunch of available missions that you fill out with characters meeting the criteria, and eventually the missions will complete and give you stuff. The stuff is Crusade points, which are the measure of your progress on the leaderboard of the Crusade, which I'm at this point suspecting will, at the end of the Crusade, give you some rewards like all the leaderboards do, and you get the various currencies to spend on the new guild projects. And also you get a little experience if your characters that you selected aren't already maxed. Now, since the experience was less than 1,000 per character, that's completely inconsequential. So luckily there is an autofill function which I used. Now, I'm not sure if there was the option of speeding up completion of these missions with Blackstone. And I'm mentioning that because there is already somebody on the leaderboard who has 188 Crusade points, along with some people who seem to have completed 1 or 2 small missions. I am also unsure whether there was a way to buy Crusade points directly using some packs or deals. I haven't found them, but at any rate, I find this to be a very fascinating behavior, because I started the missions right as the servers unshed themselves, which was roughly an hour after the Crusade started proper for me, and I still have there 5 hours to go on the missions. Now, not saying there is foul play involved, but you know, heavily implying it at this point. Right, I missed the offers, so there is another offer for some experience connected to the operations today, which I'm obviously gonna ignore. Claim operation points from completed operations and level up your operation board to improve the operation to receive higher rarity operations. Okay. Sorry about that. So if you tap this, the icon, you get the operation board, and apparently you can eventually upgrade it to give you a higher chance of better payouts, which makes sense because more RNG is always fun in thinking and competitive wannabe games. So it also comes with a chest with 1,000,000 credits almost, and 15 big experience books, mythic books. Very nice. I wonder how long it will take to get the 5 million worth of Crusade points. Well, probably less long to this guy. Okay, being at the leaderboards, there are leaderboards for individual players, individual factions selected for the Crusade, and guilds, and for your own guild. Let's see from the players what the rewards are. So for the first place, you get 900 Crusade credits and 40 Lhykhis shards, apparently or presumably at the end of the season. For the factions leaderboard, which there will be one for each of the factions you can play as in the Crusade. I have skipped that for now. And these give much less rewards. Makes sense because they're essentially doubles or doubling or overlapping there, that's the word, with each other. Let's see about the guilds. Okay, the guilds one is beefier, and my guild, that's just apparently showing you contributions because there are no rewards shown. Maybe they appear once I actually score some Crusade points. Alright, and now the last bit I think that I skimmed over for now, and that's the sides and factions. So the guild leader chooses the faction for the whole guild, and you can choose either Imperium or the Devastation. Then all the players choose their small factions in the list, so you select one for each of the three options: Imperium, Chaos, and Xenos. Seeing how there is the leaderboard, I wonder if it's better to select unpopular options rather than popular or strong ones to have a better chance of placing well on the faction leaderboards. And apparently, when you select Devastation, you only need to select one. So you either select a Chaos one or an Orc one, Orc Xenos one. Yes, Space Orc one. All the Xenos are Space Orcs. There, that's settled now. Now, the information to this is that for the first Crusade, this doesn't matter. Because you don't need to play the specific modes with the chosen faction yet. This implies that for the future seasons, this will matter, and as such, we will have to play more games manually, unless this is a bit like the projects which only progress from playing the arena, the salvage mode, and onslaught. So if this would progress for playing campaigns, then that is more hidden pay to win, because players can easily stock more energy from buying it from Blackstone, which is inherently unfair and pay to win. Then again, and I think I can leave now, then again there are deals in the shop that give you more salvage and onslaught tickets. Where is it? I'm pretty sure I saw one. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Is it not here? Okay, I'm confused. Ah, there it is. The Training Rush Battle Bundle. You can buy 2 more Onslaught Battle Tokens and 1 more Salvage, but that seems to overlap with just the Training Rush that's currently going on, and that will end, I think, right as the Crusade cooldown period ends. But that means you can pre-stock salvages and onslaughts and buy this deal right before the training rush ends, and pretty much start the actual Crusade season with 2 extra onslaughts and 1 extra salvage if you were so inclined, which may be a small advantage, but it may be an advantage nevertheless. Something to consider if you wanna spend €10 on the game. Alright, and now for the final addition to the Crusades, Guild Projects. So after 4 years, the coming soon has finally come, and we have Guild Projects. You can select up to 2 from the inactive tab. Currently there were only 2, so I had selected them both. And the first one is Orbital Bombardment. Okay, the info window does the same thing as the donate window, I think, with more information about it, I guess. So to progress this project, we apparently need to defeat enemies using flame damage in the arena, in onslaught, and in salvage, which is why I was referring to these modes when I was talking about the pay-to-win advantages for the Crusade players. And mass reinforcements for Imperium, I'm assuming that devastation would have to be defeating units in the arena with devastation factions. I'm not entirely sure what this is gonna do, but they are supposed to somehow help with the Crusade, maybe during the final week of it, or final week, final event of it. And we can progress in these projects by donating the resources we get from operations, which I may occasionally call expeditions because that makes more sense to me. And the contribution can also be bought from the Crusade Shop, which again, not pay to win at all. Well, and I think that covers roughly all of the new additions to the game, with the Crusade mode being introduced. Well, mode. It's really a glorified home screen event, and yes, I know I referred to it exactly in the opposite way in my anniversary rant, but after seeing it, I no longer fear the urge to be polite to it. So I hope you guys will have fun participating in the Crusade. I suspect it will be a shitfest of the big clusters coordinating and hopefully bullying each other, but more realistically bullying the little ones who will not be able to hold the planets with 1 or 2 guilds against a full cluster of guilds, which on one hand diplomacy and politics, on the other buttfuckery. Yeah, I said it. Alright, so I think with that I ran out of stuff to rant about with the Crusade, so I hope you enjoyed the rant, because that would make you truly special to me. And I'm gonna go and get up and have breakfast and wait for my salvage ticket to regrow to continue with the hero release event. Again, thank you for watching, Tactician, and Haarken out.